Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. I'm Griffin Youngs, joined by Christian Bole. As always, can you hear me this time, Christian? You got me this time?
I don't even want to speak, man. I don't want to hurt the listeners' ears, man. That was we a little behind the scenes of the show. We had a good chuckle because you texted me probably 15 minutes while you were editing it, and you're like, "Dude, why were you screaming the entire episode?" I was like,
I have never seen the waveform so strange ever. And we were both sitting there like, what? I asked you, was I whispering the whole time during the episode? And you were like, was I screaming? It was like, I don't think so.
No.
So for anyone that noticed it last time, I went out and I bought an entirely new microphone. This is a proper Rode podcast mic. And I took that episode as a sign that I need to stop putting it off and then just go buy it. Just go buy the friggin' thing. I can see my levels now. They look much better this time. I'm like, yeah, these are the pro ones. We should probably start LARPing as people in the field at some point. And probably start doing that.
That was fun. I was texting our boss today, Nate, and I was like, I miss number 38, man. I miss coming in there. And he still tells us we can go down there and record an episode whenever we want. We may have to do that before the season starts. But yeah, it's good. It's good to actually not be screaming at you this time. It's good that you have a beautiful mic, and we are still very much in the worst time frame of not just hockey, but sports in general. There is just nothing. Absolutely nothing going on.
No, nothing. I mean, we got on this call and we're like, genuinely, what's the topic? Because usually, we say, we can decide day of, okay, here's the general gist. I can think of it in the car ride. I sat down and I realized I had not done that once. I have my list. So okay, let's pick off the list. But this is completely off the cuff. This is just completely coming up with it as we go into my fancy brand new microphone, my lovely handlebar mustache. But I don't know, what did we catch up on before we hop into the real meat of the show? I don't know, is there anything burning on your mind lately?
No, nothing burning. I mean, we're still waiting on the Cale Makar news. And I think as more time passes, people are just getting more and more worried that it hasn't been done yet. I think we need to prepare ourselves for it being maybe a 4 to 5 year deal, just because it's the financially smart thing to do. And if the cap keeps going up, who's to say Cale signs for $20 million this go around, and then when that contract expires in 5 years and he's 33, he can get another one for $25 million. It is just the fiscally responsible thing to do.
I mean, that's the worst case scenario, right? 20 million for 4 years.
Yeah. 100% worst case if you're the Avs fan. I would rather just lock him up for just get it done. That's really all I care about. I would love to get it to 6 or 7, maybe 8 years, but I think we got to prepare ourselves for it being maybe a 5-year deal, maybe a 4-year deal.
Yeah, I think with this Makar thing, anything's on the table because you can't really use comparables. This is what I've talked about the whole time with it. Is oh, this guy just signed this contract. That raises Cale's price. Oh, Cale's getting whatever he wants. Yep. If he's really adamant, I want a 1-year deal for $5 million, he's going to get it. If he wants $25 million for 8 years, he's going to get there's really not a ton of room for management to be well, we're going to negotiate this.
Right. It really is. And that's what I honestly think I think they've probably agreed on the AAV, and it's just figuring out the term. Yeah. Because obviously the Avs would love to get this for 8 years. You lock him up for the rest of his prime. He gets paid a lot of money. But if you're Cale and this salary cap just keeps going up and up and up, it wouldn't be smart to lock yourself in super long term and try and get as much money as possible. So I'm preparing myself for that one to come out where people are going to be like, oh my God, he only signed for 4 years. Again, I'm not going to sweat it. I just want to get this done.
Yeah. In a world where Quinn Hughes is about to sign for 2 to 3 years, you take your victories where you can. I will say that does also kind of remove the CBA deadline a little bit that I've brought up, because I've mentioned that I don't think it makes a ton of sense for both sides to not sign for 8 years. If Cale doesn't want 8, that just takes that entirely off the table. And okay, so we just do 7 or 6 or 5, and you don't need to worry about that eighth year at that point if you're on either side of the negotiating table. But also that would be what, a day before training camp?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is going to get done. I do think they're playing a game of chicken. I've said it probably 15 times this offseason where they're waiting to see what Quinn Hughes signs for. Like both sides are waiting to see what the other one signs for and see if they can get a little bit more money out of each team.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much it. Only other thing I saw that was like,
well, we can also extend it a little bit more with Cale Makar. Do you think it raised his asking price for him to once again be at the top of the NHL's best defenseman list?
yeah, I mean, a lot of people told on themselves that they didn't watch hockey last year. And they just didn't watch the Avs because I thought up until Cale's injury, which happened with 12 games left in the regular season, I think is when he got hurt against Calgary.
Yeah.
It was like near the end of the season. It was one of his better defensive seasons we've seen from him in a minute. I thought he was phenomenal on both ends of the ice. And just a lot of people told on themselves that they did not.
Oh, dude. When NHL Network starts putting out like the top 20 in positions list, favorite time of year, will not watch a second of that segment because I value my brain cells. But it's my favorite rage bait content that comes out every single year. They usually get the number ones right, and they did here with Cale Makar, and that gets everyone all upset and tripping over themselves. But every year without fail, it's the only thing I look forward to in August is the amount of quote tweets and the amount of replies those lists get, just freaking out about every single list, every single year without fail. It is the best part of the offseason.
I definitely was expecting Werenski to be the number one. I thought they would just go that way.
I didn't think about it at all.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
You're completely right. Like I saw it pop up and I was like, wow, I'm surprised they actually did it. Like they got it right. It's kind of a crazy concept. They got it right. But it is just, it's a lot of people telling themselves that they don't watch the Avs and they just, like Cale Makar was awesome last year. Up until he got hurt against Calgary, he was probably the Norris favorite.
Almost wire to wire Norris, probably without the injury.
Yeah. And when did that Calgary game happen? It may have happened earlier in the season.
No, it was pretty late.
It was pretty late.
Calgary won, like it was either very late March or early April.
Yeah, because that happened and it was noticeable. I mean, it was the rest of the season. He just wasn't the same guy.
He didn't play.
His arm was fucked up. So a lot of people told on themselves because I thought he was phenomenal. Because I think we can agree, like the year before this year and like a good chunk of the year before that, his defense wasn't locked down like it normally was. I thought this year his defensively, he was phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, the reason Cale Makar is the best defenseman, I've said this for years, is because that's who everyone's comparing themselves to. The one everyone gets mad at because he's on top and they want their guy to be on top. But when Matthew Schaefer and Lane Hudson are having incredible stretches, they're not comparing them to like, oh, well, he's the next Zach Werenski. He's the next Quinn Hughes. It's always Cale. Yep. That is always the telltale sign. He is the bar.
I don't think you need to argue. we may be a little bit biased, but
of course we're biased. Look at the fucking branding.
Yeah, we may be a little bit biased, but it's not surprising. I will say I was surprised to see Taves make the list.
I thought that was cool.
I thought it was cool. Don't get me wrong. Like I just didn't expect them to recognize his game because he usually gets punished for being Cale's partner, and he finished at 20th, which again, like I'm cool with that. I just wasn't expecting to see him on there. I mean, who was second? Was it Werenski or Hughes?
Oh, it was Hughes.
It was Hughes, and then Werenski third.
Yeah. Well, last year they had Taves at 17, so I guess technically you could say he fell 3 spots.
I thought. I mean, offensively, his game's not been the same, but we don't pay him for offense most of the time. We pay him for his defense.
I was surprised to see Schaefer up in like 7th already.
Got up to 7th?
Yeah, it was 6th Hudson, 7th Schaefer.
So 4th was Dahlin.
Who was number 5?
Oh my God. Was it Bouchard?
Nope.
Who was it? I'm not going to guess.
Miro Heiskanen.
Okay. He had a decent year last year.
Yeah. And then I'm not going to put up a fit about that.
6th Lane Hudson. That seems.
I was like, oh, they did get this right. Jake Sanderson got 8th.
Yeah. I feel like if Jake Sanderson was playing in Montreal or New York, he'd be a lot higher because Jake Sanderson fucking.
If he played in a bigger market than Ottawa, I think he'd be 5th.
Yeah, he rocks.
He's really good. And then they had Mo Sider at 9.
Okay. Who's 10?
Bouchard.
Okay.
I think having Bouchard over like McAvoy, Slavin, Fox is, you know what? I just don't care enough to argue.
Yeah. I mean, you can go with anyone in that. Like Schaefer at 7, it seems high, but then you're just listing off those guys and you're like, he did.
But I feel like they're doing that preemptively. They're like, well, he's going to be. It's like, okay, but like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And he was great.
Did you see that did make me show the NHL posted a highlight of his and it was like, what a hustle play by Matthew Schaefer. And he stopped like an empty net goal and the score was 5-1. The Islanders were down. Yeah, it's a hustle play. But
it's August. We have emptied the highlight clips.
It's just like, okay, cool. But yeah, the top 20, I think next week is, they already did the wingers, right? I think they did. I think Natchez was like 15th.
Yeah, Natchez, he was somewhere on that list. I'm sure I can find it. But
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like he should be a little bit higher. Not saying like top 5, but
are you actually going to make me look up this list right now?
I thought you already were. That's why I was.
I had the defenseman one. I didn't think this was going to extend beyond this few-minute conversation we were having. But
because I think because it was obviously Kucherov 1. I think 2 was Pasternak. 3 might have been Kaprizov. And then 4th was, it wasn't one of the Kachuk brothers.
Can they just give me the friggin' condensed list? I don't need an explanation for every pick.
Was I right? I think it is. It's Kucherov.
Is this from this? I just want to make sure this is from this year. Okay, yeah.
So yeah.
Kucherov, Pasternak, Kaprizov, Marner, Rantanen, top 5.
I agree with that. I mean, I don't. Mikko kind of gets there off of name alone because Marty had a better season than Mikko.
Robertson had a better season, and he's in 7th.
Yeah. Where was Marty? Was he 15th?
Marty is 15th. He is sandwiched behind Sam Reinhart and above Jake Gensel.
Sam Reinhart's awesome, but he did not have a year last year.
When you compare Marty to the names in front of him, I will ask you, who would you rather have? Marty Natchez or Sam Reinhart?
Sam Reinhart.
Would you have Marty or Brandon Hagel?
Brandon Hagel.
Panarin.
I'd take Marty.
Or Panarin? Okay. Current, yeah. I think you can make a case for that. Kyle Connor?
I'd take Kyle Connor.
Nylander?
I'd take Nylander.
Cole Caulfield?
You could make the case for Marty because I think Caulfield's a great player. I could see a world where I'd take Marty over Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, and David brings a point. Playoff contribution.
True. But in the playoffs, he was a point per game, essentially. Now,
but he didn't do enough.
He had assists. I don't know. But Cole Caulfield didn't do shit in the playoffs either.
So, he scored a couple.
A couple, okay.
He scored.
I just feel like if we're basing it off that season, I feel like Marty should be a little bit higher.
Okay.
A little bit. But
see, I started off making fun of this list. Now here we are having a genuine conversation about it.
I mean, it's just one of those ones. And then the center one will come out. It'll be McDavid 1,
MacKinnon
2. And do they put Draisaitl? I think they put Draisaitl as a center. So they put Draisaitl.
Yeah, because they didn't put Draisaitl as a wing. So
yeah. So it'll be McDavid, MacKinnon, Draisaitl. Where's Brock Nelson slot in? 20th?
How big is this list?
He may crack it. How funny would that be if he cracks it?
That'd be a great conversation.
It'd be a great conversation. I can already see Canadians fans getting mad when Suzuki's like 11th.
He'll be top 10. He had 100
points. You think he'll be top 10?
Yeah. They made the Eastern Conference final. He had 100 points. He'll be top 10.
Fair. Yeah, that would be really funny if Brock Nelson made it. That'd be really funny.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he will.
You think about there's 32 teams. They have top line centers. I don't think Brock Nelson's going to crack top 20.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah.
But it would be funny. It would be really funny. I'm interested. Does Barkov just get on that list just off of reputation and seeing how important?
I mean, if I'm making the list right now of the top 20 centers, Barkov is
top 5.
On some nights, arguably 1.
Yeah, he's so good. I'm so excited. I missed watching him play, man. I'm excited to have him back. And it kind of I've seen a lot of people just I don't know if they're forgetting about the Panthers, but a lot of these people, because all of the content's coming out now of the preseason predictions and all this stuff. And a lot of people are just forgetting that the Panthers got Brady Tkachuk, and they're also getting back the best defensive two-way forward in the league.
Yeah.
I know Markstrom's a question mark, but the Panthers are going to be so fucking good. And they're going to tear everyone apart. Every single team apart. They're so good, dude. In the playoffs. Yeah. they're going to be a problem, man. And I think people are forgetting just how good Barkov is, because you have the Kachucks, you have the Marchands, and Barkov doesn't say shit, and you're just like, oh yeah, forgot about him.
Yeah, like they built the team to be a team of axe murderers.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch them next year. I am very excited to watch the Panthers next year, and I still think a lot of like the Hurricanes just need to live off the fact that they got one. That's all that matters. They got one. I don't think they're getting another one.
It's one of those two.
Yeah.
If we're being pretty realistic about the East, it's one of those two.
Yep. But I just don't I don't think a lot of people are forgetting about them, but I've seen people being like the Stanley Cup contenders and they have the Panthers in like fourth, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no.
Relax.
Like,
I get people don't want it, but
they're one. They're number
happening.
one.
Yeah, it's happening.
They're number one. And it's quite frankly, it's close between them and the Avs, and you can throw Vegas in there.
Have we talked about this on the show, like how annoying it is how high the Avs are still ranked? Like,
guys,
can you forget about us, please?
Yeah,
it's so annoying to still, even after being embarrassed, be ranked number one.
Yep.
Can't we slide? Can't you put us in like fourth?
Can you imagine
like that?
Just how, like, if you're a fan of a team that is not the Avs, and just being like, wow, these guys are actually complaining about the fact that their team's a cup favorite. What a bunch of fucking
annoying. So annoying. Let us fly under the radar.
Yeah, like I would love it. We were talking before we started recording that the Chat GPT had the Avs winning the Stanley Cup, and I was like, God damn it!
Yeah,
I don't predict this.
Shows how much I value the opinion of AI.
Yeah, I will see. But you want to put up David's comment before we talk about what we're actually going to do on the show?
Yeah, the other one from David said, I think the Capitals will go hard at the deadline for Ovi's send-off, assuming this is Ovi's send-off, because he just refuses to make it easy for anyone. I'd be very interested to see what they do at the deadline.
Like they went all in this offseason.
I know where I'm at. Is like they're down to like $79,000.
Yeah.
They'll do something.
They'll do something. But I also like it's a weird spot for the Caps in these, because we just got done talking about the Hurricanes and the Panthers, and then there's a gap, and I think the Capitals lead that charge of the second tier teams.
Yeah, because there's also like some names a lot of people are waiting around on to see who will be available at the deadline if like certain teams are bad. Like Werenski's not on the market until he is.
Yeah.
Robertson's not on the market until he is again. Like there's a lot of unresolved things right now that a team like the Capitals are going to hang around about. But speaking of championship windows and trying to win championships this year, I feel like this offseason, as we transition into what we were going to talk about for today, this offseason more than most people have started talking about the window and the actual tangible idea of like, when does this window for the Avalanche close? Like, when do we transition more into like, we need to start looking at the future? Because it still feels a ways off, but it does feel like the conversation has shifted a bit this year, where you kind of have to start thinking about it a little bit, because the first 8-9 years of this championship window have just been like, the future is so far off. Why would we care about any of this right now? You know, Makar is 21. MacKinnon is still in his mid-20s. Why would we ever think about what's going to come after this generation? Because it's not coming anytime soon. All of a sudden you blink, and now this is what, the 7th season of this show?
Yep.
And now we're like, Makar's still young. McKinnon's in his early 30s, but how much longer are the Avalanche going to lead the pack when it comes to Stanley Cup favorites every year?
It's an interesting question to ask, because I do think that as long as MacKinnon and Makar are on this team for the next, like, MacKinnon could be a Crosby type cycle where when he falls off, his fall off is 90 points, which still is a very good player. Like it'll be interesting to see what they do around him. I feel pretty confident in saying that they're probably 65% of the way through this window. I feel like that's a good marker. They're more than halfway through this window.
I would say probably. I mean, you, like I've always said, you kind of have to break this window up into chunks, where we've talked about this current window ends when Makar's contract comes in.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean they're not Stanley Cup contenders anymore. It's just right now you have Cale Makar for $9 million. We could be entertaining the possibility of him making 20 here soon and doubling what was already at the time when that was signed not a super expensive contract, but like still $9 million, nothing to sneeze at. Now you're probably doubling that. Now it's going to get a little harder to win, but there are still going to be a contender. So when does that stop? And to your point, we're probably more than halfway through at this point. Like David's saying here, when Nate falls off, I'm guessing is when he's around 35 is maybe when the MacKinnon prime ends, because we're in it right now. These are the best years of Nathan MacKinnon that we're going to get. And they kind of started, like really kicked in when the Stanley Cup kind of happened. Like the first Vegas loss in the bubble was when MacKinnon really started to round into the best player in the league form. Obviously the first time he was contender for the Hart, but now we're like consistently over 100 points, best player in the world, yada, yada, 4 straight years of well over 100 points. When does the prime begin to end? I think for a physical freak like MacKinnon, you're probably talking 35. He's going to get a longer prime than other people.
Yeah, I mean, he takes such good care of his body. It's going to be exactly like Crosby, where his prime, his days of getting 120 points may end when he's like 35, 36, but he's going to be a point per game player for the rest of his career.
Right. And also, like, we're talking, okay, so MacKinnon's prime ends. What does that even mean? Like, okay, so it's not 140 points anymore. You want to go and you want to talk about Sidney Crosby. How many 100-point seasons does Sidney Crosby have? Like 6?
6.
And I think most of them came in the early 2000s. Yeah. I think his last one was 2018-19, and there was a gap between those seasons.
Yeah. Like it doesn't necessarily mean the team's window is going to close, but you do have to capitalize when you have a player of MacKinnon's talents. And what you were saying earlier, where it's iterations of the championship window. This is the last year of this specific window.
Yeah.
Like this window will close at the end of this year because Cale's contract's going to kick in. You have a lot of older guys. If they don't get it done this year, we're probably seeing a completely different team going into next year.
Yeah, because the Avalanche had a Stanley Cup window that ended in 2022.
Yep. When
they had all of those contracts, those really cheap, great value contracts all at the same time, MacKinnon at 6.6, that was a championship window, and they won. Then they were in another championship window, right? I'd say right now with Makar's contract. I think you can kind of lump MacKinnon's didn't kick in until after Seattle, right? So
yes, after Seattle. No, yeah. I thought it kicked in. Yeah, it was after Seattle.
Yeah, because it was an extension.
Yep.
And then you got another year out of that, 6.6. But then you have this small window with the 2 losses to Dallas and the 1 to Vegas in between, where this is the Makar window before his next contract kicks in. So this is the last year of that one.
Yep. Yeah, maybe it'll be the same luck.
I mean, it worked last time.
It worked last time.
I guess technically it didn't, because this is the last year. We won MacKinnon's second to last year.
Fair. Oh, this was the year. But I just, as long as they have MacKinnon and Makar, they're going to be a Stanley Cup contender.
Yeah.
That's just, it's the way it's going to be. They're going to keep building and giving them chances, but this is the last go for this team, this run and this iteration, where if they don't get it done this year, Brock Nelson's gone. Probably look at Kadri going out the door. You probably look
I don't know about Kadri. I think he'll stick around.
He'll probably stick around. I don't know. Brock Nelson's out the door. You have a lot of people who will be shuffled out of this lineup, and it's just going to be a very interesting thing as we go forward with it.
Yeah, because it just depends how you define it, because the team is always going to swap. Basically, you're always going to see moving pieces. So is the end when one of MacKinnon and Makar is not here anymore? Is that when we classify it as the end of this era?
Yeah, I think so. I for me personally, like the second either one of them is not playing for the Avs, this window's closed. Yeah. And it could probably arguably close like a year before that. They wouldn't make a move and trade these guys if the window wasn't already closed.
But realistically, that might not be for like 10 more years.
Correct.
When we're talking about a Nathan MacKinnon, who I believe is going to play into his 40s.
Yes.
Like, not even as a bias thing. I think this guy takes such incredible care of himself. Like David said earlier, the only main concern with Nate is, like, as he gets older, is injuries. And not everyone's Alex Ovechkin, where you wait until your 40s for your bones to actually break and take time to heal. MacKinnon has had to deal with injuries before. But other than that, like, he is going to play until the wheels literally fall off. you still have a long time with
Yeah.
Cale Makar, assuming this contract works out, which we're not there yet. But you
He's not
still
even
have
30
a.
yet, is he? He's what, 28?
It's 27.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like with Makar, you still have a long time with this guy.
Minimum 9 years.
Yeah.
Minimum.
I almost kind of look at this team as just like, is this just going to be the ship of Theseus until one of these guys is gone? It's just as long as MacKinnon and Makar are here, it's still the same Avalanche team, right?
Yeah.
You can swap out pretty much everything else. Like everyone else, no offense to anyone else, if they go, it'll be different, but it'll be the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the real one will be, like David put the comment right here, Taves will be interesting when he ages out, but that's not he still has 4 or 5 years left on his contract still, I think. And then I think it's really going to hit me when Landy retires.
Yeah, when Landeskog goes, I think that's as much as I'm willing to stretch it. Marty's interesting because he's 27. He's the same age as Cale Makar, but also like Mikko Rantanen left. He was considered a part of that core. Window still feels very much open, so I would kind of lump Marty in the same way of he's important, but if he for whatever reason goes somewhere someday, it's not going to feel like the end of the era, right?
Yeah.
Gabe is different, but it's also like we lived an era without Gabe already.
It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't good.
It was still like the team was still good, but it wasn't as fun.
It was not fun at all.
Yeah. And who knows? I mean, Gabe could play for another 5 years.
You don't know. Like you just have no idea.
Yeah,
because it could be the rest of this contract, and like I just can't risk it anymore.
Yeah.
I could also see him squeezing a good 5-6 more years out of his career.
Right.
If he's totally good, you can also argue, well, that's 3 years of wear and tear he doesn't have.
Right. And also, like, if the surgery worked and he got the artificial cartilage or whatever it was, he put the cartilage replacement, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
He's just, if he's back and his knee's just better than it was ever, like, hell yeah, like he could play. There is no world Landeskog plays for another team other than the Avs. I'm just interested to see how long he wants to play. Because how many years does he have left on that contract?
3.
That's crazy. Because he signed, was that 8 years back in?
Was it
before he won the cup? Right?
Yeah, it was 8. It was like the day before free agency.
Mm-hmm.
It was the weird free agency date, wasn't it? Where it was the pushback because of everything. And then it was like St. Louis was rumored around him, and I think it was like 11 p.m. that he signed.
Yeah. So that contract feels like it was signed ages ago. Which,
I mean, 2021 might as well be.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like that one's gonna be interesting to me. It will just be like a fuck, I'm getting old moment too when like Gabe retires. I think Gabe and I are the same age. I think
33.
He's 2 years older than me.
Yeah,
year and a half.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, but that one's gonna be when he retires. That's gonna be weird. When MacKinnon retires, that's gonna be weird. Like. I think we've had this conversation hundreds of times, but it is. I mean, the jersey's getting retired. Landeskog for sure.
Yeah.
MacKinnon's guaranteed already. Makar's guaranteed already. You got 3.
You got 3 easily.
3 easily.
4. 1 got taken off.
Yeah. You could make the case that no. Because he'll play as many years in Dallas as he did in
Columbus. Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. Should have been. What could have been? But also, yeah. We don't need to dive deep into that. But I really don't see a world where this window closes for another. I feel confident in saying they have 5 more years.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I am right now. I'm like, I feel worst case scenario 4. Like you get 4 more legitimate good kicks at the can here. And even then, honestly, you can probably still squeeze in a couple more good playoff runs out of it. Like MacKinnon in 5 years going to be 35. He's still going to easily be putting up 80 to 90 points a year, if not 100 still. I'm not going to be the person to tell MacKinnon he's not scoring 100 points at 35. Yeah. And Makar is going to be still in his early 30s. Obviously, a lot changes in 5 years. We'll see how this team looks in 5 years, but I still believe in Sakic and management to still be able to put a good team around this. I have a hard time seeing it end before that.
Yeah, because I just think 5 years seems about right. And it could go longer based on the fact of how good MacKinnon stays through the rest of that and how much they like. Do they start valuing draft picks more and bring in some young guys? I don't know.
There will come a like you're seeing it soft launched right now with LaRue, Svechkov, Brindley keeping the second round pick this year, and then the Chushkin trade. Like you're starting to see slightly that philosophy shift.
Yeah, it's just going to be. They're going to find a way to make this team competitive. Because would you say like when did the Caps window close?
It's a weird question to answer. I would argue it closed in the bubble in the way that they lost to the Islanders.
Yeah.
And they made the playoffs the next year against Boston and then lost in 5 again. 22, they made the play. They missed the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that was the first year they missed.
Yeah.
Because that's how Laviolette got fired.
Yeah. Laviolette got fired. 23, snuck in, missed. Made it again. Don't need to rehash all that history. I would argue it ended in the bubble.
But how long would that window last? Because Ovi was drafted in 05.
Yeah. Lockout first year. Lasted a solid 15, 16 years.
Yeah. Like it's just that's how we're in. We said like because they're in nine straight years making the playoffs. You're probably, if you're being generous, if they can get to 16 years of contention, that's fucking awesome. Like, not many teams can say that they were in contention for a Stanley Cup for 16 years.
Oh, I missed the year they lost to Florida, the year the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Where they were a 100-point second wild card.
Yeah, the East was loaded that year.
Yeah. I went into that playoff being like, this is probably the last one I'm going to see with this core. And then they didn't make it, then got swept by the Rangers. Like, okay, that window is closed, but they've also just done such a good job of building a new one that it's hard to kind of pinpoint, oh, the window closed here.
And who's to say the Avs can't do something like that? Like they could very easily like make some moves.
I feel like comparing them to the Penguins is a little more
realistic,
accurate. Obviously, without the 3 Stanley Cups first, but like in terms of just making the playoffs every year, and then it's weird because like their window didn't close because of age. They just started missing the playoffs.
Yeah,
and then as a result, got worse and worse until they made it again this year.
Yeah, Penguins are probably more realistic because I can't remember last time.
Argue that window closed probably around the same time as the bubble again, when they just kept getting beat by the Islanders.
Yeah, but they still were like a competitive team, like in the regular season. I don't know. It's a tough question to ask, but I do know we're on the back 9 of it. We're on the back 9 of this championship window.
Yeah, and I think David brings up a good point. Like this is the pivot year.
Yeah.
Like if they sneak into the playoffs and get destroyed in the first round, this is a much tougher conversation next offseason. If the exact same result happens, maybe just you lose to Vegas, maybe just don't get swept this time, you're like, I mean, it's still open. Like you're still one of the top teams in the league. You just got to get a little lucky sometimes. The window is still open the next season.
Yeah. It's just going to be a totally different team.
Yeah.
A completely different team. They're just going to change so much about what the construction of this team is going to be. And I like the direction they're heading in. I like that. After last year, I liked what they did where they were just like, we're just going to run it back. Because that team was good. They should have beaten down.
See, the thing is I kind of feel it might be pretty similar to what the Capitals and Penguins have done over the last couple of years. Well, I don't know if we'll be able to pinpoint, window's closed. We'll be able to say it's harder to win, but they also did such a good job the last few years of just total retool on the fly. This isn't working. We need to change everything. Goalies, centers, basically everything outside of like the mainstays and even one core part of this team and Mikko Rantanen. I think once you do get to the later years of this window, you're going to start to see a lot of that again, where maybe there will be a year or two where like they're just sneak in to get bounced earlier, don't make it at all, and then slowly start to come back while MacKinnon and Makar are a little bit older.
I could see that. Okay, I definitely see that as being a possibility. But I also like the West, you look at it, and in the Central, I feel pretty confident their Avs are going to be a playoff team for the next 5 or 6 years.
I feel like they have a good cushion.
Yeah, because like Utah's on the up and up. They are. St. Louis, I don't really know like where they're at. Nashville in a couple of years, maybe. Chicago's, who knows how far away they are. Like there's still teams in and we think Winnipeg's probably going to get worse here before the Avs do. Like, I feel pretty confident they can be a top 3 or 4 team in the Central for the next 5 or 6 years. I feel pretty confident about that.
Yeah, again, like you're not at the point yet with MacKinnon and Makar where this is a genuine concern.
Right. Right, because like, yeah, that's Central. Like, who would you say, like, Utah's really the only team that's up and coming?
If Chicago had good management, they're at the top of the list.
Yes.
But until they start making good moves, you're just like, well, Connor Bedard can only do so much.
Right. Like that's the only team that's really actually rebuilt.
But also, like, of course, Nashville could get the first overall pick next year, for all we know. Like, stuff like that changes very quickly.
It does. I mean, we thought it was, I mean, San Jose just has knocked it out of the park, but it is one of those ones where you look at the Central Division. I'm like, I feel pretty confident in Dallas, Minnesota, and Colorado, and Utah as being like the 4 playoff teams for the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, but things change fast, man. I think 5 or 6 years ago, and how the league looked back then.
True. Like, it is. Well, I guess in the Central, it really hasn't changed a ton, other than Nashville maybe falling.
Like, this is a COVID year I'm looking at 5 years ago, which I guess answers the question in itself of how different the league was 5 years ago when we were going through the pandemic. Like, let's go to 2018-19, like the last normal season before COVID, when Nashville won the Central with like 100 points. That was when Tampa won the President's Trophy, and the second best team in the league was the Calgary Flames.
Nice. Was that the year the Avs beat them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That Calgary team was loaded that year. They were a good regular season team, and then they ran into Nathan MacKinnon and just got fucked up.
Yeah, the 90-point Colorado Avalanche who made the playoffs.
Yeah, they snuck in. They were not good in the middle part of that season.
No. They went 7-1-2. Last 10 games made it in.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to do this, but I can hear myself echoing on your computer.
Maybe just turn the mic a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
want to. Mic. We'll troubleshoot it.
We'll figure it out. But I'm still hearing myself echoing it.
All right. Well, you just filibuster for a second.
We'll filibuster while you fiddle with it. So I don't know. I just look at this team. I feel pretty confident that they're going to be a playoff team for a good amount of time. But as Avs fans, we just kind of need to accept the fact that we're in the back nine, and last year was a real dick punch. Like they wasted a really good opportunity, because we're gonna look back after, like, that's gonna be a weird episode when we do that. Is just like the recap of this entire run. Like, that episode's going to be weird. We're gonna look back on this year and be like, "Fuck, that team should have won a Stanley Cup."
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, yeah, this team last year, they had everything. I mean, I don't know if there's any iteration of this team coming up that's going to be on paper better than that, but I've also seen teams like we've talked about, the Capitals, put out better teams and then win with a worse one the next year.
And if that happens, cool. But it is, I'll ask you this. If they don't win another Stanley Cup, is this generation a failure?
Not a failure. Winning a Stanley Cup in an era is a success. It is hard to win, but it is disappointing.
Fair.
Because if you win a Stanley Cup, great. Like, that's the point. Obviously, you want to win every single year, but you're going to look back on this era and be like, yeah, but they could have won more. It's great. It's great we won one. It's not one thing that we look at, oh, complete waste of time. What an absolute failure, disappointment to not win once with two of the best players in the league. You did win one. But you're like, yeah, but they were good enough to win again. Like, this wasn't a St. Louis where they just got hot.
Because, like, do you look at that, like, as a Caps fan? Because they're kind of in the same boat right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is disappointing that they only won one and kept running into the same roadblocks every single time. Rangers, Penguins, just that second round block. Winning was great because it was catharsis of like, okay, I'm not going to die without having never seen one.
Would you have died? Would you have died if they never won?
Probably.
Emotionally, will you be dead?
I'd be a different person. Yeah. At very least. I've talked about this before. That was like a foundational moment of my life because it made me a better man.
Yeah, everything was good.
That's not a joke. That is not a joke.
I know it's not, but I just, because I think they're very similar. Until they win another cup, they're just the Washington Capitals. That's just what they are.
They did it earlier. Like, they did it when they should have earlier. Like, it's like if the Avs win 2 years from now, that would be more like if that was their first one, that would be more akin with it, because McDavid's right now in that boat. of is he 30? Is he get close to his 30s?
He's 30. I think because he was drafted in what, 2015?
Yeah.
Well, he's 2 years younger than me, so he's 29.
Yeah, he's 29 right now. When is his birthday? Because I know MacKinnon's is the first. So his birthday's in January. So he's going to turn 30 this year. And Ovechkin won when he was 31.
Yeah.
So like McDavid's entering that part of his career.
It's
MacKinnon,
really...
but this is the thing. MacKinnon, he has won. Makar, he has won. This era, they did win.
Yeah.
Everything from beyond that point is gravy. That is a success. 2 is like, okay, now you are like, this is an era to remember. 1, you have 2 banners from, you can build statues of. 3, in my opinion, is when you start talking about like the dynasty stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, people say dynasty is 3 in a row. I have a much softer definition for that. If your core wins 3 Stanley Cups, I think that counts.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Penguins are 100% a dynasty. 100%. Yeah. That era is a dynasty. The Chicago Blackhawks were a dynasty. They did it more. Was it 3 and 5 years or 3?
It was 3 and 5, and like they went to the conference final all years but 1.
Yeah, like that was a dynasty. Do you consider the Lightning a dynasty?
They won back-to-back. Went to win a 3rd straight Stanley Cup. I mean,
but they were fraud Stanley Cups.
If the answer is not immediately yes, I think it's no.
Yeah, I agree. And like the Panthers, like they could very much win this year, and they're for sure a dynasty.
Yeah, if the Panthers win this year, that's the defining team of this decade.
Yeah, that's the dynasty right there. But it is, if the Avs can get one more, and it sounds cocky to say, I think they are going to get one more with MacKinnon and Makar. They're just too good.
They're always right there.
Yeah,
they're always right there. They're losing to the best teams. Outside, like obviously they lost to Seattle 1 year, but outside, like they're losing to the other Stanley Cup contenders. And really, guys, when it comes to the playoffs, it's just fucking luck.
Yeah.
Obviously, they did themselves no favors against Vegas. I'm not saying that was unlucky or lucky on either side. They did not play well enough to win that series. But sometimes you just got to be there and things have to go your way. Yep. Sometimes you got to be the Carolina Hurricanes and just cupcake your way through the first 2 rounds. And then really the first 3
rounds. Yeah.
Really the first 3, have a struggle in the first 4 games of the final, and then just breeze your way through, really. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get a little lucky that way.
And that's how it goes, man. And you can make the case too, like the Oilers are in the same boat where their luck has just been terrible. Like they get to the Cup final and they just have to keep running into this fucking buzzsaw that is the Florida Panthers. And they can't.
That's the thing. Yes, the Oilers have been on deeper playoff runs than the Avs lately. Who would you rather be?
Yeah, the Avs, because they have.
Yeah, because they won. They did the thing. They won the Stanley Cup. We're not talking about what could have been if we lost to Tampa or we lost to Florida 2 years in a row. Because you could argue, like the Oilers, there is a universe where they won back-to-back cups, and McDavid's already top 5 all time. He might already be, but he doesn't have the Stanley Cups to his name.
That is a fun conversation that we're going to have, because McDavid, I think, point-wise, will be top 5 all time. If he never wins a Stanley Cup, I'm intrigued.
He's probably the greatest to never win.
Great, yep. Because Ray Bourque got his. Joe Thornton. McDavid's much better than Joe Thornton.
We're talking modern guys, at least. Yeah.
McDavid's much better than Joe Thornton. That's nothing against Joe Thornton, first ballot Hall of Famer. Who else is there that was like a great player who never won?
I mean, how would you consider like Dion to be recent enough to add to this conversation? Because he's probably the greatest to never win, period.
Who?
Marcel Dion.
Oh, I thought you said Leon. I was like, Leon Draisaitl?
No.
Oh. But Marcel Dion's probably up there. I'm trying to think. Lundqvist is a big one. He's one, but is he one of the top 5 goalies of all time? I don't know.
I love him.
Yeah, McDavid, you could make the case is going to be a top 5 player all time.
If McDavid never wins, he is now the top of that list.
Yeah, because he'll probably, what's he at? He's going to hit 2,000 points, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he's going to get to 2,000 points, which that would just be him and Gretzky, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be an interesting conversation if he never wins one. I do think he will win one eventually just because.
Yeah, once he goes to Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's going to hurt. Like, because what is the worst? Is Vegas the worst case or is Toronto the worst case?
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas.
Toronto's not going to win with McDavid. That'd be part of the joke.
Yeah, that would. God. What if he goes to Florida?
That'd be funnier.
That'd be way funnier. That'd be way funnier.
But I've said this the whole time when it comes to McDavid. Guys, he's going to Vegas. Yeah. He's not going anywhere else. You're like, oh, he could go to the Rangers, go to the. He's going to Vegas. Yeah. Think about it for a second. If McDavid was on the market, who's pursuing him the hardest, Vegas, and where would he want to go?
Vegas or Florida?
Yeah, Vegas or Florida. And I think he would prefer Vegas.
Yep.
It's natural fit.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be gross. It's even grosser than him being on Edmonton right now.
I'm telling you, I've given everyone years of notice that that's happening. He's going to Vegas.
They'll just sub out Eichel for McDavid and it'll be no problem.
Exactly. That will be the trade. It's like Eichel and whatever else for McDavid.
Yeah. Fuck, that's gonna suck. That's really gonna suck.
And if he goes to free agency, Vegas will pay him $35 million a year.
Yep. Who knows? Maybe the Pietrangelo deal will be over by then. they can do that. So,
and like, as if Vegas would ever have salary cap issues if it came to getting McDavid.
No. And then we talked about with the expansion coming into this league, it's going to be even harder for the Avs to win the Stanley Cup. Just because if you add 4 more teams, say, in the next 10 years, that's just going to deplete your depth. Like winning a Stanley Cup
there's no way that's possible, right? Like we talked about, like 4 teams in 10 years. We're at 2 in 10 right now.
I know, but like if it gets to that point, even 2, like you're going to deplete your depth even more. Like that's just, it's stringing out. It's going to be even harder to win a Stanley Cup with the way if this expansion goes like it's going to go. Like it's going to be very hard to win a Stanley Cup. So it's just going to be even more reliant on your scouting, finding those diamonds in the rough, signing those good contracts, because I think the Avs have done a pretty good job. Like what is the worst contract they have right now?
According to The Athletic, it's Brett Kulak.
It's Brett Kulak. But again, that's it's 5 years was what he signed for.
Yeah. 5 years at 4.5.
And then I think 2 years were no movement clause.
Where he has a 15-team no trade clause in the final 2 years.
That contract, he will not play the final all 5 years in dollar. He just won't.
Which you can make the argument makes it a bad contract if you were already talking about he's not going to play the full thing. So I can understand it from that perspective, but it's 4.5.
Yeah, but $4.5 million isn't like a contract that I'm going to lose sleep.
Like he's the 4th highest paid defenseman on the team.
Yeah.
Like, and also like the 102nd highest paid defenseman in the NHL. Again, that we talked about that like a while ago, where he was like the 8th worst contract in the NHL. That makes no sense to me at all for a guy who makes that little money to be top 10.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like the way the Avs like management, they're pretty smart with their contracts. Like I feel pretty confident in. The only bad one you can think of is the Miles Wood one, but they got off that one and got Gavin Brindley out.
That's why I really don't stress about contracts all that much sometimes, because we were like, oh my God, Miles Wood's going to be here forever. What are we going to do about this guy? And they got Gavin Brindley in the trade back. Yeah. You can get off contract. Like if it's not a super expensive contract, even then Darnell Nurse, like you will find a way to get off of really bad deals, because for whatever reason, some teams trip over themselves to take on bad money.
Yeah, they do it. And that's why I'm confident that this window is going to stay open for the Avs, because they're great at making these types of deals. Their offseason moves are always strong. And if they aren't strong, they make the adjustments and they go for it in the trade deadline. They readjust and they reload. Like they're going to be a competitive team for another 5 or 6 years. I think they're going to win another Stanley Cup just because they're too talented not to. But they could very much not win one. I don't know. There's no way to predict the future. This fucking Stanley Cup playoffs are a shit show. You just have no idea. You have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm intrigued to see where they go. But I'm encouraged by it, man. I've loved all the moves they've made the past 2 off seasons. Like I have. Like what's a bad move these past 2 off seasons?
I mean, if Brock Nelson's really bad this year, then you can look at that and go, that really could not have gone worse. But even then, but you've gotten good enough returns from Brock that like the playoff thing just feels so much like an outlier.
Yeah.
It's
What,
a really
34
big
goals last
outlier,
year?
but
He had 34 goals last year.
yeah, like a lot of hot and cold stretches in there. But if he's good enough this year and the playoff thing fixes itself, like you really don't look at any of these and go, man, that just sucks, doesn't it?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, this is going to sound crazy, and I think a lot of Avs fans may be like, what's he talking about? Brock Nelson's the second best second-line center they've ever had in this run. Like,
Yeah.
It's Kadri 1.
And the other one's still here.
Yeah. Like, Kadri's 1, and Brock Nelson's 2. He's above Casey Middlestad. He's above JT.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, you want to go back to the other times where we just don't have one at all?
Right. Like, that's kind of where my brain goes with it, where – yeah, the playoffs haven't been great, and we talked about it a couple episodes ago. Like, players who have to prove the most going into this next season. Brock Nelson's one of them, but I don't think it's been money bad spent. Like, he's been a good player for us.
Yeah, like the playoff thing has been a mess, but he is behind Nazem Kadri for that 1 year. You're totally right. The best second line center that they've had on this team in a while.
Yeah. Like, you could make the case like. I don't even know if you can, because Copper was the third line center when they won the cup.
He was awesome. Overplayed.
Yeah, he was awesome in that Stanley Cup run. Remember those 2 goals against Edmonton? God.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Edmonton and St. Louis. He had one in Game 6 against St. Louis.
Yep. Game 6.
Yep. Oh, God. That is going to be a great episode. I look forward to that in our future, where we just reminisce about this time, and it'll be like a 6-hour episode, and we'll just be like, remember that goal? That was
cool. Remember the Comfort goal? Remember the Logan O'Connor shorthanded goal?
Yeah, remember that one? That was cool. I did see, like, on my TikTok, I was scrolling through my likes, and I watched the Brett Kulak winner. It's up there in moments of our friendship. I remember when that goal happened, and I was just like, it's not going to pass when we saw them win the cup, but that's probably number 2 of our friendship. Like,
I'd say it's top 3.
Okay, what's your second one? Is it the Kadri goal is your second one?
I would say that. I would say the Darren Helm is number 2.
Yeah. Darren Helm's up there.
I would say it's held back from it just being in your living room, but I also think elevated it to a point because it was just us in like shocked silence.
I think that's why I don't have it as high, because I completely forgot about it, because we were just watching in my living room. People just looked at each other like, did that just fucking happen? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
It's also the only game we've ever watched at your house.
Right. Like, the Brett Kulak one, it's up there. Like, just being in there and having like, just us jumping like little girls when that happened was just an insane moment. That goal rocked. It was the last good moment of this season.
Like, not even a bit. Literally the last good thing we had.
Oh, that was great, man. That was.
I don't know. I feel like the Kulak goal overshadows the MacKinnon goal, though, of the same game.
Oh, yeah.
To tie it. Because we knew we were going to win.
Yeah.
Once overtime started. We would have been shocked if we did not win that overtime.
Yeah.
MacKinnon to tie it felt like a miracle.
Shot. I forgot about that, which is crazy because that goal was gross. Short side, top shelf. And then
it wasn't like there was no build to it. It just happened out of nowhere. He just ripped it.
Shout out Michael Makar missing that 2-on-0. That was cool. Yeah, I forget about that after, because the Vegas series just destroyed every positive memory of the year. that was so bad.
Man, even if the Vegas series was close, we could enjoy that run a little bit more. Just completely overshadowed by just 6 straight days of what a waste of time.
Yeah. Oh, gross. But overall, I feel pretty, like I said, I've said probably 50 times, this team's going to be good for at least 5 more years. So enjoy it. It's not going to last forever. It's just the way sports work and the way time works. But we've got, I'd say last year was probably the best chance we've had since we won the cup. And you're running out of those opportunities.
Yeah. You still have a very good shot this year if a couple of things go your way. Like, you do need to hit on some guys at the bottom of the lineup. You do need Brock Nelson to, we need you. Last year, we need that again. More consistent, and also in the playoffs.
Dude, if Brock Nelson just goes full Sam Bennett mode and sucks in the regular season, but then just becomes a menace in the playoffs,
give us the opposite, please.
Yeah, give us the opposite. I'll take that. Like if you score 15 goals in the regular season, I won't be happy. But if you score 10 goals in the playoffs and you win the cup, I don't care.
Yep.
I give 2 fucks. So just go.
I don't remember anything about what happened in the regular season. Tolias, don't care.
Yeah, don't care. And like you said, you need to see it with the guys like Brindley take a step. You need to see Svechkov. You need to see LaRue if those are going to be interesting. Like it is going to be a fascinating next couple of years because the way we're talking right now, like this could be the last year of Jared Bednar, which that could be like in like the window of that closing too. Your longest tenured head coach, your winningest coach in franchise history. Once he's out the door, that's a signaling of, oh fuck, we're in it now.
Yeah.
But
like it's like David said, Laura, like it kind of all hinges on this year and how good or bad this ends up being.
Yeah. I can't wait for it though, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a second. We are going to take a quick break for a word from some of our sponsors before we wrap up this episode.
Let's go! Yeah!
Get the excitement of game day any day with the new Broncos Blitz Scratch from the Colorado Lottery.
At the Denver Athletic Club, exceptional facilities and a vibrant community come together to elevate your fitness journey. While the DAC is the perfect place to achieve your health goals through countless sports and activities, we also offer a variety of amenities to support your lifestyle. A co-working space, childcare, social events, family activities, private event spaces, and more are at your fingertips as a member of the DAC. Discover the Denver Athletic Club today.
All right, and we are back to wrap up this edition of the show today. David here saying, I'm excited to watch the bottom 6 more than the top 6 in the first 20 games of this season. Obviously, I want to see MacKinnon and Makar, but I think I agree.
I agree.
Just because it's new and different and just kind of something we haven't really seen before with this team.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it because it's going to be different. It's young guys. We haven't seen that in a minute where young guys are going to be expected and going to play big roles. And it sounds like I think I know what you're saying, where it's like we know what MacKinnon and Makar are going to do. We know. Yeah. That's not going to surprise. We know Nate just has 100 points in him. I'm excited to see what the bottom 6 got, man. I'm excited to see it. I'm really, really excited to see it. So we'll see.
I think I just more than anything, I want to hitch my wagon to a young guy. I feel like that's the one thing I haven't really had on this team. I love having a young 20s guy to cheer for, and I really want that to be Gavin Brindley because I was obviously already very much on that train last year. I really want to see this guy make it. He is my favorite archetype of player. And if I can safely buy a Brindley jersey, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. I think LaRue's such a psycho. I think LaRue may be my guy.
Yeah, there's enough upside with some of them to get excited about. With LaRue's that could be the sneaky psycho power forward addition that this team might kind of need in the bottom 6. Brindley has that extra bite to him. Yeah, David, Bo Byron, I really wanted that to work here because I loved me some Bo. There's not an archetype I love more than the early 20s player that just doesn't care and just goes after people all the time. And I love it even more with a guy like Gavin Brindley. But there's enough upside with some of those guys. I guess Svechkov doesn't excite me as much just because he'll just be good.
Yeah.
He'll just turn into a good player. But with LaRue and Brindley, I'm there's a little extra something there that I can really get behind.
I want LaRue to be number 69 so bad.
That'd be so fun.
That'd be so funny. I don't think they allow it in the NHL player to wear 69.
They don't.
But that jersey would be the number 1 seller if it was 69 LaRue.
Yeah, easy.
That's cake, man. I would enjoy that. He'll probably end up being 27. I think is what he'll end up being. Is he 67? I think David said that he's 67, or is he just going 6'7" on us?
I don't know. I'd be totally honest. My brain is overloaded with info right now. But.
Yeah, but we're a month and a half away from training camp opening. I think it opens on my birthday in September. So, we're getting there. We're getting there.
slowly. I mean, this has been the most August episode of all
It's
August.
about time. I mean, we can wrap it up. Like, have any big injuries happened in Ravens camp? Is anyone out that's been surprising to you?
I mean, not really injuries. I mean, Marlon Humphrey might have gotten hurt today, but Jacoby Lane's been a revelation.
There you go.
In terms of their receiving. I don't know. The only bad thing is like, oh, Mark Andrews isn't having a great camp. I was like, I could have told you that 3 years ago.
I forgot he was still on the Ravens. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, almost like they should have kept Isaiah Likely.
Yep, probably should have done that. The Broncos.
This is a Colorado show. We should probably talk about the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos, they're dealing with a lot of soft tissue injuries, which, okay, all right, that's something. A lot of soft tissue injuries going on in Colorado right now. And then I don't know if you saw it, just like we're doing our sports recap. I don't like everyone shitting on the Bills' new stadium, man. I don't like it.
I think it looks terrible.
What? I think it looks cool, man. Like it's designed to be outdoors. Everything's leading to the fact that like we're all going to be playing indoor football here soon because the Broncos are going to have a dome, which you can argue maybe they win the Super Bowl. Probably not win the Super Bowl. The Seahawks are really good, but they beat the Patriots if it doesn't snow and there's a blizzard in the AFC Championship game. But there is something about that we'll miss the outdoor football. I will say Bills' new are fucking atrocious.
Yeah, those look terrible. I think I'm the videographer. I think their video board looks terrible. So I look at that and I go, oh, the stadium sucks.
Well, the video board, people are giving a lot of hate. It's the same size as the Bengals.
I'm going to stop you right there. Bengals, cheapest organization in the league. And also, this is a brand new video board. It should be giant.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I think it's a cool looking stadium. But it's just all football stadiums are like all the new ones just look the exact same.
Yeah.
Notice that they all look the exact same.
Once teams in the AFC North start having domes, we've gone too far.
Yeah. Like if Pittsburgh ever gets a dome, that's going to be weird.
Yeah. If like the Ravens or the Steelers ever get one, you're like, nope, now we've gone too far. Football has gone woke.
Yeah, because the Ravens stadium was opened in 2003?
And it's like freshly renovated.
Yeah, that's a sweet stadium. I need to get out there for a game at the bank. Is it still called the bank?
M&T Bank.
M&T Bank. Yeah, we'll have
worked there for a long time.
Yeah, we'll have to get out there for a game. Because if I do that, I want to go see an Orioles game too at Camden. I need to go do that.
Running out of time. It's like a 1 month window.
I know, but Baltimore's just kind of. I don't think I'd want to travel to Baltimore. You know what I mean?
It's all on like the edge of Baltimore.
Okay, all right, fair. I don't know. It's just like my bucket list. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to see every MLB stadium. It's changed now to where I do want to watch a hockey game in every arena.
I'm still on board with that. Like if I can, I would still want to go to every stadium for the NHL.
Yeah, I think
I mean, the more we wait, the more teams are getting added to the list. So.
Right. Like I need to go see a game in Canada. It can be like Montreal's obviously number one, but Toronto would be cool as well. Sneaky, Edmonton's supposed to be beautiful. That arena, Rogers Place, and then the new arena they're opening up in Calgary. Like I do want to go see some games there. The American stadiums, I think the only one I don't want to go to. What even is it?
I wouldn't even know.
Columbus, a really bad arena to watch hockey in.
You would not want to go to. You would not want to go to Columbus. I know.
No, but that's just because it's hell. I don't know. What's a bad NHL stadium? Like Florida, maybe.
I don't know if there is one that stands out to be like, oh, I wouldn't want to go here.
Yeah,
I'd want to at least go to every single one once.
Yeah, I don't really think there's Buffalo has to be Buffalo's probably. Maybe I'm just biased. I love Buffalo, the Sabres, the fans.
You do want to go to Buffalo.
I do want to go see one there.
Okay, I thought you were saying it was bad. That was why I was
No, it's probably at the top of my list. I saw a game at Joe Louis Arena when I was a kid, a little kid, but I haven't been to Little Caesars in a minute. I saw a Pistons game at Little Caesars. I haven't seen a hockey game there, but we'll have to. Maybe that's what we do when we get old and we actually make money. We just make that a video series for us. We just go watch a game in every NHL place.
Yeah, I mean we're going to a road game this year. It's just not an NHL stadium.
Yeah, Rice Eccles, baby. Rice Eccles. And if you're going to that game, we'll be there. So shoot us a tweet and we'll meet up with anyone there. We should talk to Nate and see if he wants us to do stuff while we're out there, because I'm sure he'll want some video and stuff.
I'm sure he will.
But regardless, I don't think I have anything else for this episode. I am ready to wrap this.
I'm not sure we had much when we started.
No, we didn't have much, but we'll probably be back sometime this weekend. It's a little crazy. We're doing a big sale at work this week for me.
We'll see. We'll see for me at least.
You're doing a bunch of stuff. Like it's school starting for you, so you got to do a bunch of stuff. We'll try and get one down this weekend.
School's starting for me. You make it sound like we're going back to high school.
Well, no, but I mean, it's true. Like all the college kids are getting back on campus in the next couple of weeks. So you've got to do a lot of stuff with your job. So it does kind of line up where both of our craziness schedules happen in the off season. So I think that's a positive. But
mine continues well into the regular season. Don't you worry.
But we'll definitely get locked into our 2 shows a week. When
trust me, October, November is the busiest time of my life.
Yeah, but we'll get locked in. We'll knock out 2 episodes a week once the regular season starts for sure. And as we start getting closer to the regular season, we'll start ramping up a little bit more. There's just not a lot to talk about. So, I don't think I have anything else, man.
No, David's asking, how's Colorado State football look this year? I literally can't tell you that.
Yeah, it'd be breaking. It's like HIPAA. Can't tell you that stuff,
I literally can't. We look great, and you should buy 15 tickets for every single person that you know, because we're going to win every single game. And
are you guys going to do that deal that Akron's doing, where if you buy season tickets, you get to call plays for the first drive?
I tried to pitch that. I was shot down. That
would rock. I would totally buy CSU tickets. And I was going to wear it. It didn't show up. I did get a Cam the Ram hat where he's playing golf. Okay. It hasn't shown up yet.
Nice.
So I'll wear that on the next.
I did go to that Rockies game where they gave out the CSU hats, so I do have an extra one of those now.
Yeah, so I will wear my Cam the Ram hat. Unfortunately, Claus, the UNC Bear, Go Bears in Northern Colorado, they don't have. So can't wear. But Cam the Ram playing golf, I will wear soon.
Yeah, I will also say, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show. I am still undefeated at Rockies games.
Yeah, so, you did.
Rockies, if we're ever in like a playoff push in 20 years from now when the team's that good again, hit my line. Hit my line. My DMs are open.
I will say the Rockies called up their top prospect, Zach Veen, and he hit a home run today. So, and they won 2 or 3 against the Diamondbacks. I may be buying Rockies stock, man, and that's a dangerous stock to buy because it's like Dogecoin, man. There's going to be some high of highs, but there are some lows, man. And I'm all in on the Rockies again, man. I'm all in.
This is the most fun part of a team, when you're just really bad forever, and then you have still a bad year, but it's not historic bad. You're like, oh, this is fun.
They're fun, man. I'm getting close to being a Rockies guy. I'm getting real close to being the Rockies, man. So, I mean, David's saying it right there. Veen should have been playing for months. I agree. He's been tearing the cover off the ball in AAA. It's fun just because a lot of Denver sports teams, like the Nuggets, Avs, and Broncos, are all in their championship window. The Rockies are so far from it that you get to pay attention to the prospects and you actually care about AAA baseball. But he's been tearing the cover off the ball. If they can get some pitching, which is what we've been saying since the Rockies got founded, watch out, man. Watch out. Watch out.
Watch out.
Watch out. But we're an hour 10 in. Let's wrap this up before we just go full on.
Yep. We'll wrap this one up here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in to another edition, believe it or not, of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. It's the middle of August. We're having a grand old time right now. We'll be back we'll figure it out at some point. I mean, I've got all the scrimmages with CSU plus the soccer home opener. My weekends are now back to just being non-existent. They are now just days of the week once more, and that's probably going to continue for the next several months, but it's never stopped us before. Not going to stop us this time, so we'll figure all that out in time. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. As always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at GR Youngs. You can follow Christian at Christian_Belay, and you can follow the show at Hockey MTN Pod. But again, thank you all so very much for tuning in. We will catch you all next time, but until then, let's go Avs.